Hey, welcome back to YT Finance, and this is the channel where I went to business school so you didn't need to, and today we are talking about why investors think that Elon Musk is going to start his own social media company, or why he might partner with Donald Trump to promote his Truth Social platform. I will also talk about Twitter's TWTR stock price news, stock price targets, and analysis on top of the newest updates regarding DWAC stock and that SPAC. For more videos like this one, remember to go and smash that like button right now, subscribe if you are new, comment your thoughts down below, and without further ado, let's jump right into today's stories. As you all know, Twitter is receiving a lot of publicity lately because Elon Musk has a very large stake in Twitter. Right now, the TWTR stock price is trading at around $50 per share right now, and recently an analyst from Loop Capital actually has given Twitter stock a $51 price target, and this clearly means that they give it a buy rating, and they think that investors should continuously buy shares. The rating was actually recently adjusted and increased because of its current valuation compared to their other peer social media group companies. And they also say that Twitter deserves this price target because it has meaningful growth projections. We also have a fair value price target for the TWTR stock at $58 per share. So despite the recent upside and growth that we've seen in the TWTR stock because of the news regarding Elon actually buying a lot of Twitter stock, we also have a decent fair value price even after the stock price has surged, and we will get more into that later. The low end TWTR stock price is around $30 per share in the next 12 months. The average analyst price target is $44. However, the high end bullish price target for the next year goes as high as $77. 41 analysts currently cover this stock, with 11 of these analysts saying that the company is a good buying opportunity. 26 of these analysts say to hold the company for long term, and then 4 of these analysts actually say to sell the stock. However, with that being said, let's see why Elon Musk has obtained a 9.2% share in Twitter. So if you didn't know, Elon Musk has a 9.2% stake in Twitter, making him the largest shareholder of Twitter stock. He has also hinted that he might start to shake up the social media industry. However, we really don't know what this means as of right now. There is only speculation regarding this. Since this has recently been announced that Elon Musk is the #1 shareholder for Twitter, the TWTR shares have surged by around or over 27% since Elon Musk has made his purchase. This would make Elon Musk's shareholdings worth around $2.89 billion. He also polled more than 80 million Twitter followers, and he asked them whether or not Twitter as a platform adheres to the principles of free speech. More than 70 of them who responded said no, and that a new platform could be needed. So it seems like Elon Musk could be giving serious thought to creating his own social media platform, or potentially partnering with somebody else who recently launched their social media platform, which in this case would be Donald Trump, who started his Truth Social platform, but we will get into more of those details in a second. Because of this, an analyst at D.A. Davidson's & Co. said that given Elon's prior comments about wanting to start a social media company, I would say it's possible that he will increase his stake in Twitter or take a controlling interest in the company sometime soon. And I think we are actually seeing this already happen. I don't think that this gives us any future insight, because clearly these things are happening as we speak right now. Also, I want to add that Elon Musk is one of the biggest personalities that is currently on Twitter, and if he ended up making his own social media platform, he is going to take a lot, or if not the majority, of his followers with him. Twitter has been going through a lot of changes lately, including their new CEO, who has replaced Jack Dorsey, who unexpectedly resigned back in November, because now Jack Dorsey is the full-time CEO over at Block, which was formerly called Square, and not a lot of investors were actually ready for this CEO transition. And as of right now, Elon Musk does not like the current CEO, at least not as much as Jack Dorsey. The company has also set very ambitious goals, referring to Twitter, to their future growth projections, which is exactly why the previous analyst increased his price target to around $51, even though the fair value of the company is somewhere around $58 according to Morningstar. However, with that being said, the company plans to increase their annual revenue to around $7.5 billion, and they also are planning to achieve around 315 million daily active users by the end of 2023. So these are very ambitious goals. Also, if we look at the stock chart, we can see a gradual downtrend due to various macroeconomic factors and Jack Dorsey leaving Twitter. However, recently we have seen fantastic upside potential in the stock, particularly after it was known that Elon has almost a 10% stake in the company. And this is how we see this very apparent vertical increase in the stock price right there. So if you have gotten into Twitter around this price point, which indicates lower than $40, you should be in the positive right now. I also want to hear what another analyst says that we have been following since the beginning of this channel, who is Wedbush analyst Dan Ives, who I normally look to for electric vehicle input, and he says it looks like Elon has his eye laser set on Twitter, and he wants to place himself in more of an aggressive ownership role in the overall company. I also want to add, according to this Bloomberg article, which says it's unclear what Musk is planning with his stake. The filing with the SEC shows that the date of the event that triggered the disclosure was March 14th. The type of form used often indicates the investor isn't seeking to acquire control of a company or to influence who controls it. And we actually know this because the form that was filled out was a 13G filing and not a 13D filing. And the reason why this is important is because a 13G filing means that the acquirer is not interested in pursuing an activist agenda, which means the one who buys the shares is not interested in pursuing an activist agenda. However, if Musk wanted to pursue an activist agenda and actually make a lot of changes in Twitter, he would actually have filed a 13D form, which he did not. Dan Ives goes on to say, we would expect this passive stake as just the start of broader conversations with the Twitter board/management that could ultimately lead to an active stake and a potential more aggressive ownership role of Twitter. But as of right now, this 9.2% ownership is very passive. Twitter is also under a lot of pressure lately because they are really under pressure to build new products and to compete with other social media companies right now that are doing very well. And although Twitter has grown very steadily for years, the stock price appreciation of Twitter has lagged behind its industry peers. So Twitter really needs to get its game on to start increasing its overall stock price by achieving and adhering to what the masses want. And it sounds like people want free speech, which will be a nice segue into when we talk about Truth Social and why Elon Musk and Donald Trump could be connected according to some very speculative investors. I also want to say that Elon Musk has purchased around 73.5 million Twitter shares. So this would be quite odd for Elon to purchase this much stake in a particular company and then start his own social media company or join Donald Trump to promote his social media company. So although I want to keep that in the back of your mind, I do want to show you the evidence from all sides and why some speculative investors think that he's going to jump over to Truth Social because he is clearly pushing the agenda of free speech. Even in his Twitter tweet, he said that free speech is essential to a functioning democracy. And over at Truth Social, which is Donald Trump's platform, he clearly says that free speech is going to be the ideal that the platform is created around. However, with that being said, we still have a lot of questions. Why did Elon Musk have a passive stake in Twitter instead of an active stake? Again, why did he do a 13G filing instead of a 13D filing, especially if he either wants to create his own social media platform or join Donald Trump in his? Also, will Twitter ask or invite Elon to join Twitter's board of directors, or will Elon Musk just get to join the board of directors because of how many shares he owns? Also, I want to hear in the comments, what do Tesla and SpaceX shareholders think about this very large stake over in Twitter? It sounds like a very odd investment, in my personal opinion, that Elon Musk would actually initiate. Now, it could be because Twitter is dabbling in cryptocurrencies, because if you remember, Elon Musk has a large history involved with PayPal, and they are also interested in cryptocurrencies. And because Twitter now has access and is involved in cryptocurrencies, Musk could want to infiltrate Twitter to either pump Dogecoin, Bitcoin, or any other cryptocurrency that he finds necessary. And although we don't have answers to these questions as of right now, I think in the future these questions will have to be answered because eventually Elon Musk, whatever plan that he's brewing right now, answers will come out about it. And this is why certain investors are speculating that he is not going to start up his own social media company, mainly because he is very busy running the companies that he already owns, but rather he's going to co-lead trade or join into Donald Trump's Truth Social platform and become a part of that, because fundamentally that platform is to create free speech, and again, it's called Truth Social, which means that this could reflect very positively in the DWAC stock, also known as Digital World Acquisition. So right now, the DWAC stock, which is a SPAC or a special purpose acquisition company that is going to take Donald Trump's Trump Media and Technology Group, also known as TMTG, public on the open stock market. And this stock has been extremely volatile, and it has been falling as of late for a multitude of reasons. As you can see, just in the last couple of months, we've seen a giant downtrend. However, this is not surprising because a lot of other stocks, including blue chip stocks, have also downtrended due to rising interest rates, investors taking money out of the stock market and investing into the bond market, or investors liquidating speculative growth stocks and putting their money more into value stocks, on top of geopolitical turmoil that we have talked about and mentioned in previous videos. So why are investors trying to connect the dots to think that Elon would join Donald Trump in this particular endeavor? Well, if we look at the overall DWAC stock, we can see that it initially surged up extremely high, capped out, went down, and then ever since then slowly started to work its way back up until it hit another top peak, very similar to the one in the very beginning, and now the stock is downtrending again. And although I personally think that this stock price is still very, very high, and I don't feel comfortable investing into the company at around $60 per share, I do think there could be some merit to thinking that Elon could join Donald Trump. But I don't actually think this is going to happen, but I at least want to put this on your radar in case these certain investors are correct. For instance, Truth Social in and of itself is a Twitter-like platform, which launched on February 21st. It did very well, launching on Apple's iOS mobile platform and the App Store, and a version of the app will be available on Alphabet's Android in the not-too-distant future. And again, clearly, we see that Elon Musk has a knack for social media companies that are very related to Twitter, or at least function like Twitter. However, Elon Musk's main concern about Twitter is the free speech aspect of the company, in which free speech is not actually being given to all parties, including platforms like the Babylon Bee, which recently got banned from Twitter, but that is an entirely different story. However, this does and is related to the free speech aspect of what Elon Musk is trying to change. So why wouldn't he want to jump over or support a platform that is known for free speech, such as the Truth Social platform by Donald Trump? So at first I can definitely see this line of thinking, but the article goes on. There was a substantial amount of downloads from the App Store for Truth Social when it first debuted. However, the platform was filled with various bugs, and the platform had many outages because they were not prepared for the amount of people that were actually going to use the platform. And sadly, the downloads for Truth Social after their initial incline and debut has fallen by around 93%. So we saw a great initial first surge. However, this has not been sustainable, and the levels of downloads have continuously fallen down. However, if Elon were to be brought on board, oh my gosh, the surge in the traffic would absolutely explode for this Truth Social Twitter-like platform. This has also caused some investors to sell out of the stock. However, if Elon Musk does jump on board, which although I don't think is likely, I do think it could be a small possibility, which is why we need to listen to all views, even if some of these views are very far out and speculative. This would also cause that stock to surge dramatically, especially with two heavy hitters and two internet personalities such as Donald Trump and Elon Musk. According to Sensor Tower, they estimate that only around 1.2 million people in total have installed Truth Social. But despite this, Digital World Acquisition is still on track because, again, they are a SPAC or blank check company, is still on track to merge with Trump Media and Technology Group. However, history would tell us that after a merger actually goes through, we can see the stock price absolutely plummet. So although this is not guaranteed to happen, investors, if you are invested into the DWAC stock, please be aware of that. It is possible that the shares could bounce back from the lows that they have hit recently. However, please be aware that this is a high risk and high reward play by investing into the DWAC stock, and I wouldn't bet Elon joining Donald Trump and their Truth Social platform, although I think this is a very interesting theory, at least to be made aware of. However, I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Remember to smash that like button right now, comment down below your thoughts on this video, and if you think Elon Musk will either start his own social media platform or join Truth Social. Subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in the next YT video.